Good Sunday morning to you. Welcome to Rochester in Focus. I'm your host, Pat Taney. Here's a look at what's ahead.
It's a cybersecurity breach affecting tens of millions of customers, maybe even you. Credit and debit card numbers of shoppers at Target stolen, bank accounts raided. A closer look at the problem, why it may not be the last, and what you can do to protect yourself. Also, why your cell phone may be the next target for identity thieves. A local expert joins us to weigh in.
Well, we begin with that security breach at Target, which has dominated headlines. Just last week, a report from Eyesight Partners of Dallas gives more insight into the breach, which affected 40 million accounts, stole the personal information of as many as 70 million customers. The report says malicious software that stole the information probably derived from a larger software product. Neiman Marcus confirmed last week, by the way, it was also hit by that security breach over the holidays. To talk more about this issue and to look at ways you can protect yourself, we are joined by expert Dr. Mislan, who is also a professor at RIT specializing in computer security. Doctor, thanks so much for being here this morning. Well, a lot of questions over the scare. The biggest, how can something like this happen?
Right, so this was created by, as we're learning, Eastern European hackers who created some software that was basically installed from a distant location to their servers, Target servers, and then uploaded to their point-of-sale systems. The software was called Black POS, and basically was scraping, is the key word here, the memory of every transaction that occurred by every card swipe.
Wow, so this wasn't an inside job then?
No, that's correct.
Okay. How is it these stores, which claim to have intense security measures in place, they didn't detect this?
Right, so they have to be right every time, right? And the hacker only has to be right once.
Sure.
And unfortunately, for every wall there is a ladder, and we keep trying to put up these walls, and every so often somebody gets in.
What about the smaller stores? We're talking a lot about big name stores here, but are smaller stores at risk here?
Right, so it depends on, I guess, the credit card agencies and who's supplying these systems. Obviously, Target has been known for their security systems all along. So for this was crippling for them, obviously.
Sure.
But the smaller stores will have to make efforts as well to keep up.
Now, you're an expert in all of this. What would you recommend these stores do? I'm sure they're taking measures right now, but what are some of the things they should be doing at this point?
Right, so they're increasing their security at their server levels and their points of sales, as well as their corporate security policies.
It's just the day we're in? These are the risks
right,
we are...
Right, it is. We have all of these wonderful devices and all these wonderful technologies that we want to enjoy quick access to our data and quick access to our money. And obviously, as we do this, we expose ourselves in many different ways.
So what do you recommend to folks, to consumers out there that use the debit card and credit card very often, me being one of them?
Right, there's several things to do. Obviously, in this instance specifically, they're being asked to replace their cards or even change their PIN numbers. If they had the Target card specifically, they're asked to change the PIN number for that.
Wow, and these guys are getting really crafty. I'm not sure if it's the same group, but from what I understand, emails were sent out to customers that were affected by this, telling them they can get free credit monitoring. That also is a scam.
Right, that is accurate. There are true emails that are coming out from Target. There are also other emails offering other things beyond just the credit cards, right? Or the credit services.
Sure. By the way, Target representatives scheduled to give their first public testimony regarding the breach during the first week of February before a panel of the House Commerce Committee. That should be interesting. Doctor, another issue you talk a lot about, mobile security. This also a big concern lately. You are hard-pressed to find anyone without some kind of mobile device these days. We use them for more than just making phone calls. They are our lifelines in many cases. We depend on apps to schedule our daily activities, pay bills, even keep financial records. Protecting yourself on these devices, so important. And doctor, not a lot of people are doing it.
Right, so we rely on these for a lot of things besides just making phone calls and texting our friends. Most importantly, we ask people to use passwords or PIN codes or other means of authentication along the way. Also be careful in the emails because there are a lot of offers in email that are phishing attacks.
Sure, and this is coming right from your website. Some tips here, if we can go ahead and show you folks at home. Use a password, as you mentioned. Install antivirus software. Be careful what you click. Location, 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 and know your apps. Let's go through these. First, Sounds simple, but you mentioned use a password. I know a lot of people are not doing this.
Right. I mean, obviously, if you lose your phone, there is the possibility that a lot of your personal information can be scraped from your phone just by opening up a few applications.
And next, I don't do this, install that antivirus software. I do have that on my computer, not on my cell phone. How do I go about doing that?
Right. So just another app that's available out there. It does scan your emails, does scan for links that may not be trustworthy of sites and what have you. So it is worthy of having.
And you say be careful what you click.
That's right. Again, in these phishing attacks, specifically in the emails, most of them are they are links to sites that are good. However, there are emails that are coming in with links to nefarious sites.
Location, location, location. What do you mean by that?
Right. So a lot of these apps are using your data. So there are ways of tracking people now. Obviously, with the NSA and everything that they've had, we're seeing a lot more of the privacy in these apps being questioned.
Okay. And finally, know your apps, as you mentioned. Are there certain apps you should avoid out there that are
yeah, we're starting to see a
profile?
lot of hybrid apps. In other words, the Angry Birds or the Upset Birds. You know, there are copycats, and there are other things that are asking for a lot more of your data that they really need in the application itself.
Okay, I'd like to give you a plug, your website, what people can go check out, get some advice.
Sure, www.mislan.com.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, still to come this Sunday morning, a local mother jumps into action to find a cure for a chronic illness, leaving her daughter in physical and emotional pain. We'll share their story and tell you how you can help after this.